Welcome to Bookalyptic. Today I will be reviewing the Runemaster Homicide by Dan Jolley, the first book in the Demon-Sleuth Scrolls series. It is a nice mix between mystery, fantasy, it has game-like vibes, it has dystopia, and a touch of fun family. Now, in the Runemaster Homicide, we follow Nysska Stonegate on her mission to let humans see that demons, as they call them, are not as bad and are not what they are said to be, what are rumored to be. Now, the Sethyds, in this case, a Sethyd, which is the correct term for a demon, they are feared by humanity, feared by the people, and even though they are feared, they are given a piece of land, the outskirts of the Valconian Empire, to live on after they encountered a really bad disaster which killed more than half of the population and made their lands uninhabitable. Now, Nysska saves the current governor Wendell Onward's life, and that makes him offer her a position as an enforcer to help carry out justice for the Empire in the Imperial Criminal Investigation Ministry, also known as the Thaumetallicon. And now, she is the first Sethyd ever in the Thaumetallicon, so all her team members are, of course, humans. And you can imagine how that would create a kind of fiction, because they are afraid of Sethyds. They're rumored to be really bad, really violent. So her teammates, well, there is a friction because they are afraid of Sethyds, and now they have the first ever Sethyd in their middle as an enforcer in their team to help carry out justice for the government. So it does create a bit of tension. The story. It starts off slow paced, but I think about at 1/3 of the story we get to have a really rather quick pacing. It speeds up quite fast, but it feels normal, it feels okay, it reads fluently, it doesn't deter the story at all. Now we have the world building and really also the storyline that gives those game-like vibes, which can be backtracked to Dan Jolley's writing career. He is an American author who writes novels, video games, comic books, and he has written for World of Warcraft, yes, Star Trek, and he has also written the Warriors manga. So you really get those feelings inside the story, you really get those game-like vibes, and it really suits the story. Really nice to read it also. So along with the forest and its unique inhabitants, because there are quite a few, we get to know the human villages, the human settlements, the human lands, and well, they appear civilized and safe, but actually, it are the laws that govern them that create a fear to let the humans abide the law, and as they say, bronze is law, bronze is peace. And if you trespass that law, your head ends up on a stick for all of the villagers to see. And it's not even a bronze stick because you're clearly not worthy of a bronze stick if you're not abiding the law. So this gives a fear-like vibe, an oppression of the villagers, of the people. They see what happens if they commit murder or if they steal or do something against the law. And let's say the Thaumetallicon is really efficient, really quick, and there is practically no way you can escape your judgment if you go against the law. So it's really a kind of, they create fear to keep the people where they're supposed to be, to keep the people abiding the law. And there's a whole other kind of vibe for the Valconian Empire, which I'm not going to spoil. But it's not just the law. There are also lots of other things, which makes that empire not so nice to live in, actually, if you ask me. And then let's talk about the character development, which is also a really big part of the story. We get to see Nysska, who is a seemingly harsh and feared Sethyd. We get to see how she evolves in her mindset and her relations with humans and vice versa, how the humans also evolve in their relationship with her. They grow closer to each other, they each earn the respect of each other and acknowledgement also of one another. So that's really nice to see. And then we get to the part when they get to the sleuthing due to unforeseen circumstances, and Nysska, being kind of, well, she knows how to do old-fashioned investigations, and she convinces the group to go to the old-fashioned investigation methods. And well, no one knows how to do this. They haven't heard of it, except for Nysska, of course. They don't know how it works. It's not according to the regulations, not according to the law, and all those things. So at first they don't want to, but seeing situation, they don't really have much of a choice. So they let Nysska convince them, and they start the old-fashioned investigative methods. So, and then along the way, because they're not familiar with those things, they don't know how to do it, it's all new to everyone, except maybe Nysska. She has a sort of vague knowledge on how to do it, but they run in all sorts of new kinds of issues, new kinds of problems they didn't expect, and they get to investigate, they get to search, work together, and find solutions, and that's also really nice to see. But then, yeah, it's nice to see, but because of that, and because of the uniqueness and all those things, the investigations and the discoveries, they kept me on edge of my seat. They were not at all that predictable, and I was pleasantly surprised more than once in the story. And then, well, yeah, ultimately everyone start to question the laws of the Empire, and they really start to take a bigger look at the current laws and the current situations. And that's also a really important development in the story. Oh yeah, and let's not forget the blood lynxes, Flex and Jax, which were by far my favorite in the entire story, followed by their keeper Percy, and then Nysska and Cam. Cam gets introduced later into the story. She's a seer, and she helps Thaumetallicon with the investigations. But those lynxes, blood lynxes, yeah, well, they have an intelligence, an intelligence that could rival that of a human, and they have such a unique personality also. All the characters have a unique and relatable personality. So that was also really nice. And then, well, yeah, we have Sethyds, we have blood lynxes, we have seers, we have tarnished. And tarnished, let's for now call them another sort of demon, because I do not want to spoil anything. And because I do not want to spoil anything, that's not all. There are so many unique kinds of inhabitants in the story, in the world, which has 3 moons. It's a world with lots of undiscovered and unique inhabitants. Let's keep it at that. So, I would say that the Runemaster Homicide is perfect for the occasional sleuther, for the mystery and murder enthusiast, the lover of fantasy and dystopia, those who like the mystery of runes, because runes are a really big part of the story also. Just runes, fantasy, demons, magic, seers, and really unique inhabitants, lots of them. I really enjoyed reading this book, and I'm looking forward to reading the second part. Really wondering what will happen in the second part, because it does end in a kind of cliffhanger. Yeah. But for now, Keep reading, keep dreaming. Thank you for watching my video and sharing your time with me, and I hope to see you in the next one.